Pixar finally realized they fucked up.
How many movies did it take for them to like bomb at the box office for them to go, we're not making any money?
I think to me, like, I don't know exactly where it fell apart for me. I do believe like Toy Story 4 maybe was the
They
big
were squeezing that lemon, man, really hard. The toy, don't you think they made one
yeah.
too many Toy Story
Toy
films?
Story 4 was the most unnecessary movie I think I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. Really, at the core of this all happened because John Lasseter got fired for giving hugs during the Me Too
What? I
movement.
didn't know
Yes,
that.
yes, John Lasseter, which is the creative vision, the force behind Pixar during the Me Too movement, basically got ran out of the company. That's really where this all kind of started to fall apart. But now, after all of this,
Wow.
after all of the problems with Pixar, the underperforming of films, the woke identity politics bullshit, now suddenly here we have this report that Pixar chief Peter Docter believes company has drifted too far from its storytelling roots. You might as well just start a YouTube channel, Pete Docter, because you would get a lot of views right now if you just sat down and talked about how Pixar has lost its way. Because we've been talking about this for at least 3 to 4
Yeah.
years now, how Pixar, Marvel, DC, Disney as an entire company, and Hollywood in general has lost its way. And you've brought too many propaganda activists into the fold. And this is where we are now. So, right here, a new report details that Pixar chief Peter Docter, I keep saying Peter, Pete Docter, believes the animation company has drifted too far from its storytelling roots.
Storytelling.
The New York Times, Brooks Barnes described a Zoom interview he conducted with Docter that primarily revolved around the failure of Elemental that Disney is now attempting to spin as a success, given the movie had longer legs at the box office than initially expected. According to the numbers, Pixar's latest animated release, Elemental, only grossed $29.6 million on its opening weekend at the domestic box office. However, the film went on to earn $154.4 million at the domestic box office in its entire theatrical run. It added another 333 million internationally, predominantly in South Korea, for a global gross of 488.1. However, given the film's estimated 200 million production budget and the movie needed to make at least 500 million to break even after you factor the movie's marketing budget as well as the box office split theaters take. So they have tried to put a positive spin on this because after Elemental Elemental was a bomb, and it has had better legs, but it still hasn't made money. It still hasn't made money. And that's at the core of it. Like, remember back in the day when a Pixar movie would come out, Jay? Pixar movie
Yeah.
come out, guess what? Massive success. It was going to make a ton of money opening weekend, and it was going to be a glowing success. These things were a given. If the
Yep.
Pixar name was on it, it was going to blow up. It was going to be huge. And now you have lost the trust of the audience. You've lost the trust of families, which is the most crucial dynamic. And I mean, like, there's just so many opportunities for them to do so much better from this perspective. But I do think this is funny. Again, we've talked about this many times. YouTubers are always ahead of the curve on this. We always call this shit out. We always get called racist, sexist, toxic. And eventually they always come around and they say exactly what we've been saying for years, with no apology, with no perspective, with none of that, because they are elitist assholes. And now that the money is drying up, they have no choice but to admit what we've been saying for years.